Good day, everyone, and welcome back to Hello English Podcast. I'm Brian.
And I'm Jean. Oh my gosh, it's so good to be back with you all.
How's everyone going? We've been absolutely loving the comments and messages you've been sending through. Keep them coming.
Yes, and if you're new here, welcome to our little corner of the podcast world, where we help you feel confident using English in real life situations. We're both from Brisbane, Australia, and we absolutely love helping English learners like you.
That's right. Now, in our last few episodes, we've been covering some really practical, everyday stuff. Introducing yourself, making small talk at work, those kinds of conversations that can feel a bit nerve-wracking when English isn't your first language.
Exactly. And today we're diving into something that literally every person on this planet deals with, asking for and giving directions. Brian, this brings back some memories.
Oh, I can already tell there's a story coming. What happened, Gene?
Okay, so picture this. I'm in Tokyo last year, first time visiting Japan, super excited, but also completely overwhelmed. I just landed, I'm jet lagged, carrying way too much luggage, and I'm trying to find my hotel.
Right. Big city, different language.
Exactly. So I had the hotel address written down in both English and Japanese, but I was so nervous about approaching someone for help. Like, what if they didn't speak English? What if I sounded rude? What if I got even more lost?
Oh, no, I can see where this is going.
So instead of asking for help, I spent literally an hour walking around in circles, getting more and more frustrated, more embarrassed, and honestly starting to panic a little bit. Finally, this absolutely lovely elderly Japanese man noticed me looking completely lost and approached me first. Oh,
What a legend.
he was. He spoke a bit of English, I spoke absolutely zero Japanese, but somehow we figured it out together. He even walked me part of the way to make sure I was heading in the right direction. But here's the thing that really got to me. If I just had the confidence to ask someone for help earlier, I could have saved myself so much stress and time.
That's such a good point. And Gene, you speak English fluently. But in that moment, being in a foreign place with a different language around you, it can make even confident speakers feel a bit, well, not so confident.
Exactly. So imagine how much more challenging it must be for our listeners who are still building their English confidence. That's why this topic is so incredibly important.
Absolutely. Whether you're visiting an English speaking country, living in one, or even just helping tourists in your own city, knowing how to ask and give directions is such a crucial real world skill.
And let's be honest, GPS fails us sometimes. Your phone battery dies, you lose signal, or you're in one of those areas where Google Maps just goes completely bonkers and sends you to the wrong place entirely.
But tell me about it. Technology's great, but knowing how to communicate with actual humans for help, that's a skill that'll never go out of style. Right, shall we jump into some realistic scenarios? I think our listeners will really benefit from hearing what these conversations actually sound like.
Yes, let's do it. Okay, Brian, you're going to be my helpful local, and I'll be the confused tourist. Picture this. I'm standing outside a train station looking completely lost, and I need to get to the airport.
Got it. Off you go.
Excuse me. Sorry to bother you, but I'm a bit lost. Could you help me? I'm trying to get to the airport.
Oh, sure, no worries at all. Are you looking for the domestic or international terminal?
International, please.
Right, so you'll want to take the airport line from here. Go inside the station, follow the signs for the Airport Express, and it'll take you straight there. Takes about 30 minutes.
Perfect. Is it expensive?
Not too bad. Around $15, I think. You can buy tickets from the machines inside.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. You've saved my life.
No worries. Have a safe trip.
Okay, that felt really natural, right? Let me try another scenario. This time, I'm inside a train station and I'm confused about which platform I need for trains going to Central Station.
Yep, go for it.
Hi there. Sorry to interrupt. Do you know which platform I need for trains going to Central Station?
Central Station. Let me think. I believe it's platform 3, but let me just check the departure board to be sure.
Oh, you don't have to go to any trouble.
No, it's fine. Yeah, platform 3. See those escalators over there? Go down one level and follow the signs. Should be pretty clearly marked.
Fantastic. Do you happen to know how often the trains run?
Every 10 minutes or so during peak times, I think. But there should be a timetable down on the platform that'll give you exact time.
Perfect. Thanks heaps.
All good. Those conversations feel so much more natural when you break them down like that, don't they? Let's look at some of the key phrases that make these interactions work so smoothly.
Yes. So for starting the conversation politely, we used, "Excuse me, sorry to bother you, but could you help me?" That's such a gentle, respectful way to approach someone. You're acknowledging that you're interrupting them, but asking nicely for help.
Exactly. And notice how we kept the actual questions really simple and clear. I'm trying to get to, or do you know which platform I need for? These are super useful starter phrases.
And did you notice how we asked follow-up questions? Is it expensive? How often do the trains run? That's completely normal and shows you're engaged in the conversation. People expect follow-up questions.
Right. And when you're giving directions to someone else, some really useful phrases are go straight, turn left, turn right, it's opposite, next to, and my personal favorite, you can't miss it.
I love you can't miss it. Though, to be honest, sometimes you absolutely can miss it. But it's such a common phrase that people use to mean it's really obvious or it's easy to find.
True. Other really helpful direction words are across from, behind, in front of, and between. These help you describe where things are in relation to landmarks that people can easily spot.
Now, here's something super important that I want our listeners to remember. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. Tone makes such a huge difference in these conversations.
Absolutely. When you're asking for help, you want to sound friendly, polite, and genuinely grateful. Even if your English isn't perfect, if you're warm and respectful, people will usually go out of their way to help you.
And please, don't be afraid to ask someone to repeat something or speak more slowly. Sorry, could you say that again? Or could you speak a bit slower, please? These are totally acceptable and helpful requests.
People appreciate honesty. Speaking of real examples, I had this happen just last weekend. I was walking along the Brisbane River and this lovely couple from Germany approached me asking how to get to South Bank.
Oh, that's so nice.
Their English was really good, but not perfect, and they were incredibly polite about it. They said something like, "Excuse me, we are looking for South Bank. Can you please help us?" Simple, clear, and so friendly that I was genuinely happy to help.
That's lovely. And I bet they got much more than just directions, right?
Exactly. I ended up walking with them part of the way because they seemed a bit nervous about crossing the bridge. We had this lovely little chat about what they were planning to see, and I gave them some recommendations for cafes. It turned into a really nice cultural exchange.
See, that's the beautiful thing about asking for directions. It's not just about getting from A to B, it can actually lead to these wonderful little connections with locals. People love to help and they love to share their knowledge about their city or area.
Definitely. All right, time for our Aussie cultural moment. Jean, what have you got for us this week?
Oh, this is perfect for today's topic. So the phrase is chuck a Yui, which means to make a U-turn. It's such an Aussie way to give driving directions. Like if someone's given you directions and you realize you've gone too far, they might say, just chuck a Yui up there and come back.
Classic. In standard international English, you'd simply say make a U turn or turn around. But chuck a Yui is so quintessentially Australian. You'll definitely hear this if you're driving around Australia with locals.
It's very casual and very us. Now let's give our listeners something practical to work with. Here are a couple of scenarios for you to think about, or even practice out loud if you're feeling brave.
Scenario 1, you're at a bus stop and you're not sure if the bus that's coming will take you to the city center. There's another person waiting there. What would you say to ask for help?
And scenario 2, someone approaches you on the street and asks for directions to the nearest coffee shop. You know there's a really good one just around the corner. How would you give those directions clearly and helpfully?
Remember, it's about being clear, polite, and helpful. Don't worry about having perfect grammar. Focus on communicating your message with warmth and confidence.
Now, what should we tackle next episode? I'm thinking maybe ordering food in restaurants. That's another everyday situation that can feel intimidating, but is so important to master.
Perfect choice. Next episode, we'll dive deep into restaurant conversations. From reading the menu to asking questions about ingredients, making special requests, and handling the whole dining experience with confidence.
Before we wrap up, here's our question of the day for all you lovely listeners. Have you ever gotten lost in another country or city? What happened? Did you ask for directions or did you find another way to figure it out? We'd love to hear your stories.
Drop us a comment. We love hearing from listeners around the world about these cultural differences. Also, if you're enjoying our podcast, be sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing. You'll then be notified each time a new podcast drops.
Thanks so much for listening today, everyone. Remember, every conversation is practice, so don't be afraid to ask for help when you need it. Most people are genuinely happy to help, and you might just make a new friend in the process. Until next time, this has been Brian and Jean. See you next episode on Hello English Podcast. Cheers, everyone.